everyone and welcome to CVLOG. Today I'm going to be talking about the top mistakes that musicians make. So I've been a musician for about 4 years now, professionally, technically 3. Technically like 2 if you count the year of COVID where I literally did nothing. So I've been doing it for quite a little bit. I'm still quite new and I'm still learning myself, but I like to help new artists. That's the whole point of CVLOG. So I'm going to pass down some of the things that I've learned, some things that I've watched other musicians do that I've thought, oh, that's just not a great idea, and definitely a mistake, and be talking about the mistakes that I have also made in my own career too. So kicking off, number 5, the musicians don't invest. So, obviously money is a huge thing. No one really likes talking about money. No one really likes talking about the fact that you have to invest as a musician. People don't realise how much money it actually is. They just think, oh, you know, I'll just sing and play my guitar and people just like give me money or whatever. No, it don't work that way. I'll release a song and then everyone will buy my song. No. Oh, I'll, you know, put it on Spotify and everyone will stream it and I'll make loads of money. Definitely no. That does not happen. So investing is very, very important. You know, you have to kind of spend money in order to make money. So as an example, before I did my live gigs, I had a tiny little battery amp because I was a busker and that's how I made money. But when I did inside venues, I needed a bigger system, and so I bought one. It was a lot of money, and I remember thinking at the time, oh my goodness, if I don't get gigs, then how is this going to pay for itself? Like, it's just but I did get booked, and as I had a better sound system, I sounded better, it looked more professional, and then more people hired me. So that's just a small example. Another example is investing in instruments, you know, you keep going up, that kind of thing, and also investing in photographers and producers. So I remember early on in my career, I just took pictures of myself on my iPhone and that was how I promoted myself. I was like, oh yeah, you know, here's a bog standard picture of me, but actually professional pictures are so important and definitely worth getting. So get yourself professional headshots and things like that. Don't be afraid to spend the money because it really does help. It just makes you look more professional. And same with recording. Like, I'm learning to produce myself, but I know that I'm not really that good at it yet and I don't have a lot of confidence with it. And so I will go to a sound engineer in a studio in order to get recorded and to have my songs released and stuff like that. It's spending the money and it's investing in myself, and it's absolutely worth it. And a lot of musicians don't really invest in themselves. They don't want to invest the money, they just want to make money. And so I would definitely, that would be my number 1 thing that I see from a lot of musicians, is they just don't invest when you need to. And number 4, they don't practice or try to improve. So this is a very common thing that I see. People have an act and that's it. They never try and improve, they never try and make it better, they never try and make it more interesting. They literally just say, yeah, this is my act, like it or lump it, that's it. And although that can be great, I just personally think that it's a big mistake on behalf of musicians. I myself did it. I had a set list at one point and it was all I played. I didn't learn any new songs, I didn't bother to write any new songs, and as a result, people just got bored of watching me. They were like, oh, she just plays the same songs. And I was like, oh no. So don't do that, you know, learn, improve and keep trying, and yeah, just try new things. That would be something that I would advise. Number 3 is musicians don't fully commit. So yeah, I've seen a lot of musicians do this too, and I myself even did it. In 2018, I was kind of gigging quite a bit, but I still didn't want to fully commit. I didn't want to leave my part-time job because it was stable, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, you know, what do I do? And a lot of the time musicians do set themselves up to fail, because they don't fully believe in themselves and they don't properly commit. And so what ends up happening is they have 5 different other projects, and let's say the music, being a full-time musician is one of them, but they're so focused on these other things that it's kind of just a sideline or a side hustle for them. And it means that things just, you know, socials won't be up to date, you won't be posting regularly on social media, you won't be doing gigs regularly, and so people just kind of forget. You know, that ends up happening. And I remembered when I was doing more gigs, I wished that I'd have done it sooner. I wish that I'd have just really gone for it and committed at least 2 years earlier. But to be fair, I wasn't confident enough. So I do understand, you know, it does take time to get more confident. It takes time to you know, want to fully commit and to decide to commit. So take your time when deciding, but just know that I do think it's a mistake when people are really good at it and then they just don't fully commit. You know, they just end up, it's just whatever, I don't really care about it. But if you're passionate about it, then I guess you would fully commit. So that would be a mistake that I see a lot, is that people don't commit. And number 2, they try to be/do everything. Now this is a very common one that I see, particularly from younger musicians. They think, right, I'm just going to post every genre, I'm just going to dress every single way and like have a different image every week, you know, and it just doesn't work. You know, you will end up completely isolating yourself and your fan base will just look, you know, it just, people won't be able to follow you because they're like, wait, you released a pop song last week, but this week you're releasing a heavy metal song, you know, and I don't like heavy metal. I mean, I love heavy metal, but this is just an example. So, you know, things like that, you know, people just won't be able to follow you because you don't know what you are or who you are. You're just kind of just posting anything to try and reach a larger audience. So doing lots of different genres and things, you'll hit different people, but you know, who are you really? Well, how does it, you know, come back to you, if that makes any sense? So don't try and be and do everything. Just be yourself. Pick your genre. You know, obviously people do expand into different genres and they kind of do that kind of thing once they get a bit more established. But, you know, it's one of those things that if you try and be or do everything, it's like if you try and learn loads of different instruments and you're kind of average at all of them and not amazing at just one. You know, what's the point? You know, it's cool to be able to play different instruments, but if you really want an act and a niche as a musician, you need to hone in on that. So yeah, that would be my other thing that I spot musicians doing. It's just that they just, you know, they try and be and do everything and it just won't work. And number 1, they don't engage with fans. So this is a massive one. I know so many musicians that they just don't engage with their fan base, and it is a massive mistake. You know, a lot of big musicians, Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift, and people like that, they say, we would be nowhere without our fans. And it's true. These fans buy concert tickets to come and see you. They support you on social media. They buy your merch, and they come and see you. They come out of their way to see you perform. It's a big deal. Fans are a big deal. If you're nice to your fans, if you interact with them, if you care about them, if you care about your fans, then amazing things will happen. I genuinely believe that, because you're treating these people like people and not like a statistic. I think there's actually a theory, 1,000 fan theory, that if you have 1,000 fans, that's better than, you know, millions of streams on your songs and things like that. If you have committed fans that love you and support you. And so that would be another mistake that I see musicians making, is that they don't even acknowledge their fans, they don't care about their fans, and then it just leads the fans to just forgetting about them and being like, oh, well, they don't engage with their fans, they don't even like their fans, okay, I'm off. And so those would be my top mistakes that musicians make. I've also kind of explained like what to do as well as what not to do. And I hope that these tips have helped you today. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please subscribe if you loved this content and thought it was really helpful, and leave a comment and say what tip you thought was the most the best tip, and the one that you thought that was most helpful. I'm very tongue-tied today, so I'm really sorry. I keep like stuttering over my words. I do that quite a lot. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, and again, subscribe, follow me on social media, and thank you guys so much. Until next time, bye.